right, ready?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. How y'all doing? This is Coach D from Code31, and this is Interviews on Demand, Zoom edition. And I have the honor of having Big Jeff on my show. How you doing, Big Jeff?
I'm good, Dawn. How's everything by you?
Everything is wonderful. You know, besides the pandemic and everything, I'm
Yeah.
still getting things done. How you been holding up?
Well, I always try to see the glass as like, a half a glass or half full, whatever. I never try to look at it as half empty. So I'm trying to, stay positive with all this. It's difficult because, most of the time I'm by myself. I mean, thank God my best friend / sister, Jenny, comes by like 4 or 5 times a week and hangs out for like 5-6 hours. But, I really haven't seen too many people. Since March 15th, I've seen my mom 3 times, and I've seen about 3 or 4 other friends, but it's basically, just Jenny, and then I'm by myself. I live by myself, I don't have any children. I don't have a wife. So it's been difficult, I mean, I do spend a large amount of time by myself to begin with, but, I'm a sports nut. I'm a music nut. So this has been a struggle, not being able to watch my Yankees and watch playoff basketball, which I love, and football's coming up in a couple months. So I'm like, my mind is worried. Like, I'm like, man, I'm so looking forward to baseball, which passed a month and a half ago. And I'm so looking forward to football, which is coming up in August and September. So I'm hoping that by some miracle that things start to open up and, everything. I mean, I don't want to put people in danger, so my needs come after that. But obviously, I don't want people to get the virus. I don't want people to get sick. I don't want people to die. So I get it. I'm all for social distancing, wearing the mask, staying indoors until they can get a handle on it. But it's just 2 things. Like, how is this going to become normal for us? Like 25% capacity, 50% capacity, and then the second concern is what's going to happen in October, November, because they're expecting a second wave that's going to be even worse than this one. So there's going to be riots in the street if they open everything up in July or August and then come to close it back up in October or November again. So people are not be happy with this staying indoors again for 2-3 months at a time again. So I don't know. I just don't want to see people getting killed. People are hurting, that means the cops and the they're going to send in the troopers and everything like that. They're getting arrested and killed. So, I don't see that,
Well, this is why, you have Zoom and all these other different things where you could communicate with your people. So if you are by yourself, this is a way for you to see each other and communicate and build this way. So this is this is my concept. I want to do Zoom interviews and then do a write-up in Rare Royalty magazine, build those relationships during the pandemic. And so when we get back to some kind of normalcy, then we could build in person. So that's how I've been through.
No, this is great. I've been on Zoom. I'm a host of a 12-year hip hop event, called Talk Tuesday. So every Tuesday, Tony Touch gets on, and when I'm not too tired, I get on because he starts at 12. I don't know why he don't start at 9 or 10, but that's his business. He wants to start at 12. I feel like if he did it at 10, we get more viewership. But like I said, my name is Bennett. I'm not in it. But I've been on Zoom, so I get the concept of that, and I have a bunch of friends, like 4 or 5 sets of friends, and like once in a while, like maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks, we get together and we get on house party. And so that's like you can go up to only 8 people, and you could speak and see each other, and that's been great. So I like I said, I do that like maybe 2 or 3 times a week with 4 or 5 different sets of people, but not when I say 2 or 3, I'm saying I don't go on with each set of group people, but it winds up being like 2 times a week because I don't go on with every single set of friends that have house party. So that's been good. That's definitely been helpful.
Awesome. So Jeff, tell me how you got into like getting in all these hip hop groups and building with so many legends.
I mean, it's a simple answer, but it's not an easy solution. Me being the social butterfly and always thinking like, how can I help others? I got involved with an organization called the Universal Zulu Nation, probably around '94. And so I started meeting a lot of old school artists, from the first generation, people that I never, really seen before from the late '70s and early '80s, other than seeing them on TV and in the movies.
Okay.
And so I started developing relationships with them, on the simple premise of like, hey, I enjoy, seeing everybody at these events and experiencing it together. Like, that's something that a lot of people don't understand, is that, yeah, you can be home and listen to music or be home and watch a TV show or a movie or whatever, but there's nothing like a communal vibe where 50 or 100 or 200 people get that excited feeling of hearing a song or seeing somebody perform in concert. So, because my mom is like, why do you love hip hop so much? I'm like, I don't just love hip hop. I get excited to see Stevie Wonder or Luther Vandross or, Shaka Khan. Like, I get that same feeling and the same excitement and joy from my soul. And so what would happen is I'd have a conversation with you, right? Say you're, Sha Rock, or you're Debbie D, or you're, Sherry Cher from the Mercedes Ladies. And I'd be like, hey, how are you? Good seeing you, blah, blah, blah. How you been? And, I noticed you didn't make the event last week. Did you know about it? And some of them would say yes, some of them would say no. And then I would follow up with two more questions. It would be like, do you know about the next event that's coming up tomorrow or next week? And, based on their interest and based on our rapport, do you want to know about future events? Because a lot of them didn't know. Like, in other words, like, say, for instance, today's May 23rd, right? So say we're at an event May 23rd, 94, 95, whatever. And so usually there'll be another event tomorrow because it's Memorial Day weekend. So I see you on the 23rd. I'm like, oh, do you know about the event going on tomorrow? 50% of people did, 50% of people didn't. Not to the exact, but I'm saying, like, I'd have a conversation with 5 or 10 people that I would see at the event that we're at right now on the 23rd. And so based on their interest, I would be like, this follow-up question would be like, well, do you want to know about future events and everything like that? And 80 or 90% of them would say, yeah, sure. And so I've never been aggressive. I would just very meekly ask, well, do you mind, it was 94, so nobody really had cell phones. Do you mind giving me your beeper number or your house number or your manager's number, and I'll reach out to you or reach out to them and let you guys know when events was going on.
Okay.
And so started out with 5, and then 5 became 10, and 10 became 20, and then so forth and so on. And now I'm in contact with a couple hundred artists and managers and actors and singers and, rappers and everything like that. And so it just started from a simple premise of, I wasn't because I'm like, oh, I want to have everybody's information. I wanted it so that I can, spread the word so people can be there. Because, out of sight, out of mind, like, for managers and for promoters, if they don't see the artists, then they don't think like, well, let me book them. So I was thinking twofold. One, I get to hang out with them and see them at these events. And two, they might get booked for a show because they bumped into somebody that saw them at an event and everything like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was nice to have their numbers, but I didn't call them like just out the blue, like, hey, how you doing? How's your mom? How's your girlfriend? How's your boyfriend? How's your family? I just call them strictly the first few years, out of just respect and say, like, this event's going on. I'm just letting you know. And so I just developed a relationship because that led to then being invited to their house. That led to us hanging out at the venues together, hanging out after the venues. That led to me actually booking some of them for shows. That led to me going out on the road with them. And, relationships were developed. Not every single one, but a lot of them were, and that's how it started, is be just out of simple love. And that's what I do with my friends that are not famous or not in the industry. I call them every week. I check on them. I'll send, sometimes it's an encouraging text. Sometimes it's a phone call. sometimes let's get together. Like, are you okay? Do you need anything? And that's just who I am. So
Right.
it's not like you know, doing anything that's not it's second nature for me to,
Right.
you know, check up on people and to show love to people. I enjoy getting love, but more than getting the love, I like giving the love. And that's
Right.
just how
But
God
you do it from a genuine heart. You don't do it from, you know, trying to get over or hit an agenda type thing. So that's why you've been successful in this media game. But how do you deal with pros and cons of knowing, like, some people probably just reaching out to try to, you know, get into your inner circle and it's not really coming from a genuine heart? How do you deal with that?
That's a fantastic question. And I guess the best answer I can give you is that, you know, as much as it hurts when people have an agenda, you know, as long as it's not hurting me where they're not trying to, you know, do physical harm, if I can help somebody, I'm glad to do it. Even if they don't really give two craps about me, it's fine. And I look at it from the perspective that, you know, the movie Bronx Tale, because this was something that I always used to do. And I still do it occasionally, but I always used to loan people money. But I looked at it like it's a gift that I'm not looking back. So in other words, if someone asked me for $50, 100 or 200 or even 500, as long as I can afford to not miss it, then I would give it to them. But I would say, like, well, when are you going to, you know, pay me back? You know, if it's something significant, like 250 or 500, it was just $50 or 100, I would just load it to them. Sorry about that. I apologize.
It's okay.
I would just loan it to them, because in the movie Bronx Tale, and this is the 60s though, so $20 was like 200, you know, back then, or maybe 300, whatever the case, it was 200-300, but it's $20 at the time. So Calogero sees the guy that owes him $20, and the guy's been ducking him for weeks, and so he starts chasing after him, and then his mentor Sonny, who's played by Chaz Palminteri, who's a second father to him, he's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Yo, that bum owes me $20. You know, I'm gonna beat the shit out of him and everything like that." And he gets this mentality from his childhood friends, Mario and you know, the other guy, I forgot the guy's name, but you know, Sonny lays this gem on him, and it's still to this day, 25 years later. Jenny, hold on one second. It's still
go get it. You gotta get the door.
No. My best friend Jenny, she has the key because she has some of her stuff here, so she just knocked on my door, which I knew was gonna happen. I thought I said 1 o'clock because I thought she'd be back by 12:30, but that's how life works and everything like that. But it's okay. So that movie Bronx Tale came out, I don't know what year, 95 or 98 or whatever, and it made such an impact on me because I'm like, you know what? If I lend somebody $200 and they don't pay me back, like, not so much that they're out of my life, but they're never going to ask me again.
Get that opportunity.
I'm not going to let them, you know, get more money, you know, because like to me, like $50 or $100, that doesn't make me or break me. But 250 or 500, that's a little bit more significant. It's not a make or break, but it's a respect issue. Like, okay, obviously you can't pay me it back right away, but, you know, pay me $10 a week, pay me $20 a week, pay me $20 a month until the debt is paid off, you know?
Right.
So, or at least call me and be like, look, I'm going through some really bad times.
Yeah,
I'm
something.
not going to be like, yo, mother effer, where's my money?
Yeah,
you know, I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a gangster. I'm not going to beat you up over $250 or $500 and everything like that. It's just the respect and the principle. So that's a long answer, but the long and short of it is that I feel that you got 80% good people, you got 10% people that are opportunists, and then you got 10% people that are just horrible people. So I feel for the most part, I've been blessed to deal with most of the people in the industry. They're good people, and, you know, there are opportunists. There are people that definitely just use me for my contacts and use me for my kindness and my generosity, and, you know, for the fact that everybody knows me. And for the most part, I would say 95% of people like me. Believe it or not, I have a few detractors. I have a few people that don't like me. and that's just the ones I'm aware of. They could
And
actually,
that's crazy.
you know.
That's,
But yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
that
basically,
that
like
I don't get
but
that.
that means I'm doing something right because if everybody likes you, then that means there's something wrong. Like, you know,
Yeah,
Jesus
you're
was
right about
perfect. I don't know if you're a spiritual person, but Jesus was perfect,
that.
and look how many people disrespected him and hated him
Right.
and everything like that. So I
That's
don't
what my
want to
mother
walk
tells
around.
me all the time. You know, they talked about Jesus, so you're in good company. She always tells me that. But
So
it just frustrates me that, you know, I'm just living my life. I'm just building, and I don't understand where these people try to come in and sabotage. I'm not
the more
bothered.
haters I have, the better. So that means that, you know, I'm doing something good because people are taking notice, you know?
Right.
So I'm not looking for haters, but I'm just saying, you know, I realize that the more and more you know, the more and more acknowledgement I get, the more and more known that I get, that
Ma,
there's more detractors.
sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I mean, one of the reasons why I put up the videos for my birthday was one, because I was upset that I couldn't do the birthday party that I wanted to, but two, because I wanted people to feel a certain kind of way. There was a few people that I was close to that I didn't ask, and none of them said anything, but I could tell one or two of them were at least upset or at least surprised I didn't ask them. And I actually reached out to two or three that I didn't ask and explained to them why. And they weren't mad at me for not, because, you know, some people just don't like to get on video. I don't know why. It's 20 seconds. Hey, happy birthday. God bless. Enjoy your day. Wish you all the best. That's like, you know, that should be the easiest thing to ask somebody to do. But I'm going to give you a perfect example. I just did something for the coronavirus for the people of New York City. I don't know if you saw it or not, but it's in my YouTube link. I'm not going to mention
your YouTube link. Give us your social media so they know where to find you.
Okay, well, the social media is Zulu Jeff 157. That's on Instagram. On Facebook, it's Jeffrey Boyd, JEFFREYBOYD. So when you go to my Instagram page, there's a picture of me, and then when you go right below it, that's where you can click on the YouTube account. So anyway, we got 22 people. I personally got 4, and then the other 2 guys got the other 18 because it wasn't my event. Excuse me. But I got Rosie Perez and DMC and Chuck D and Tretch to send videos for the essential workers and the people of coronavirus that have coronavirus to raise money for New York City. So what the point that I'm making is that they asked me to reach out to my celebrity friends. I reached out to 12. Okay. Out of the 12, 4 did it. 2 got back to me and said they don't want to do it. They didn't give me the reasons. I didn't press them on it. And the other 6 never got back to me. And my point is that, listen, I've been around this game for 25 years. Some people know me 25, some people know me 20, some people know me whatever, 15. I've never given the person the impression that you can't say no to me. And if you do say no, that I'm going to press you, I'm going to harass you, I'm going to make you feel guilty. This is something that everybody should want to do. Like, I couldn't believe the 2 people said no, but I didn't have an attitude with them. I didn't say, like, why not? Or, like I told you before. So I'm kind of baffled because out of the 6, there was 3 of those 6 that I would have, if I had bet money, I would have said, oh, 100% they're going to do it. You know, the other 4, I kind of assumed would do it as well. So I thought at the worst case scenario, I'm going to have 7 out of 12 people. You know, my friend asked me for these specific 12. I have 100, 150 people I could have asked, but they asked, I'm not going to say that blow their spot up the other 8 people that said no. Well, they didn't say no. They just didn't respond back. But to me, that's a no. And the reason why I say it because I reached out to them more than one time. I didn't harass them. I didn't blow their phone up, but I just was like, well, you know, 3 times. I'm like, I'm following up, you know, 2 times follow up. I sent the initial, I called, they didn't pick up. Then I sent the initial text message like, hey, I just called you, blah, 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 blah. You know, would you be willing to send a quick 30-second video? You could even do 15 seconds, but a quick 30-second video, just, you know, praising the essential workers, telling New Yorkers to hang in and, you know, identify who you are and everything like that. And so I guess the point that I'm making is that you can't really ever assume that, you know, people got your best interest at heart. You know, I posted the birthday videos so that others that should have done it could see, and they weren't asked. So it's sort of me being slightly petty, but it's also sort of me making a statement saying, look, you know, I am semi-important, even though I might not be famous. You know, I am semi-important. I got like, you know, to me, DMC is like, you know, the Paul McCartney of hip hop, and you know, Rosie Perez is a great actress, and then DJ Premier is one of the greatest producers, and Dougie Fresh is one of the greatest entertainers. And even with all those people I got, there was still 3 or 4 that didn't do it. You know, and that kind of bothered me because those 3 or 4, I mean, even though I got 17, like those 3 or 4 were people that really should have done it, because it's people that I really looked out for in terms of booking shows, in terms of letting them know about events, in terms of just going out of my way for them, which I'm happy to do. It's not, I never ask anybody for anything. And so I was like, well, this is my 50th birthday. You know, I'm not going to be able to celebrate it the way I want, but, you know, can you do the video? And like I said, 85% of my friends that are in the industry that I asked did it, but there was 3 or 4 that didn't do it. But I'm not mad at them, but, you know, the point is that, you know, for some reason, you know, people have an issue with doing things for you that doesn't benefit them. Like, in other words, like, you know, if there's no money involved in it, there's nothing that they can get a connect to, then why should I do it?
Then that's not,
when I say yes, do it, it's because I would do it for them in a heartbeat if I was famous.
Definitely.
I'm not famous, but if I was famous,
no, you are actually famous. You know, you keep saying you're not, but you've been in the game a long time, and you know what I'm saying? So yeah, you're part of hip hop history. So don't never say that you're not famous. You definitely.
Well, when I say famous, like when I walk down the street, like people don't recognize me unless they've seen me at a show, you know.
Of course, but we don't care about that. Like you're in the end circle where, like you said, 80% of the people did give you the birthday shout out. Now, to the ones that didn't, and you have been there for them, you just got to step back and say, okay, I gotta do things differently with those people. You know what I mean? Because they pretty much showed you who they really are in the pandemic.
Very disappointing. But you know what? I'm not holding it against them.
Yeah, no, life goes on, but
always had thick skin.
They'll be back around, and they'll be, yo, Jeff, you know, I need, and you'll be like, you know, at this time, I really can't do it. You know, you have to show people that you can't treat me a certain type of way and then think you're going to come back and ask me for something after you just disappointed me.
Yeah, one artist, I got them something for free that would have normally cost anybody else $100,000 or more. I'm not gonna say the artist, but they were honored at the VH1 Hip Hop Honors back in like 2005 or 6 or whatever. I don't know. I'm gonna say 06, but whatever. It could be a year or 2 difference, whatever. And they asked me to get Michael Strahan to present them the award. And Michael charges $100,000 or more to do appearances. But because he loves this artist, I almost slipped and said the artist, because he loves hip hop and he loves this particular artist, he did it for free because there's no money involved in it. But he could have just said, no, you know, I don't want to do that. And not even said because of money, but you just, you know, he's a football player. So, but, you know, and I'm like I said, when I do stuff for people, I'm not looking for anything in return. I'm not saying they got to be like, oh, Jeff, you're a great guy. But when I ask you one time, for one time, like the only thing I've ever asked them is to put me on the guest list. And that doesn't cost them anything. So they can't be like, oh, we're looking out for you, because you have a guest list. If you don't have a guest list, and you got to pay for me out of the guest list ticket information, then you could say, oh, you're doing something.
And then a shout out is like not even 2 minutes. That's nothing. They should have did that for
30
nothing.
seconds.
30 seconds.
20, even 20.
I'd have did it for you. If you would have asked me, I'd have did it with no problem.
You know, no, I mean, like, to be honest with you, like 7 or 8 people out of that 17 just did it for me because they saw other people doing it, and I was happy. I wasn't like, you know, in my mind, I didn't think that many people were going to do it. I was thinking 2 or 3 were going to get on the bandwagon and do it. I wasn't expecting 7 or 8 to do it, you know. But, you know, one really kind of like surprised the hell out of me. The other 2, I know they're not really into doing that kind of thing, but I thought they'd make an exception because it was me, because I've been there for them. So it is what it is. Like I said, I'm not mad at anybody, but at the end of the day, like you said, they showed their true self.
Yes, they did. Those true colors.
And the best thing is they're gonna need me one day.
Yes, they are.
And I might be petty, and I might not be. I might
I
hold
have a
this
T-shirt
over their
called
head.
"Fake Love Always Reveals Itself."
I love it. Where did you get that from? Can you say it? You don't want to say?
I make it up. I have acronyms of everything. Like my name, Code 31, stands for competition officially doesn't exist. 31. Everything
Nice.
I do has an acronym.
Nice. That's great. That's great.
Every
I might have to buy that shirt. I might have to buy that shirt off you.
Yeah, no, I got you. When
I like
when
fake.
it
I like
opens
that
back
fake
up,
love.
I plan on. Like I say, I'm a jack of all trades. I do media, I do clothing, I coach, I draw freehand. You know what I mean? I do a lot of things. So, like I said, when I reach out to people, it's not because I have to, it's because I want to. Because I'm confident in myself. Like I just started doing interviews 2 years ago. And I've interviewed so many people already. And I did the show, You Are Officially Booked mini concert. That was my concept and everything. And they brought it to life, and to try to like take you out of something that you helped create, it bothers me. You know what I mean?
That's happened to me a couple times
sabotage too. And say, don't work with this person, they're so bad, when in actuality you were the bad guy. So I just use that as motivation.
I believe that God is in control, and that what goes around comes around, and the darkness will be brought to the light. So don't hold that against them. Just keep doing you, and you know what? The truth will eventually reveal itself. But I understand the hurt and the frustration and the resentment that you feel, because like I said, it's happened to me. People have taken my ideas, and people have done me dirty and done me wrong. But you know what? They're no longer in my life. I don't have to deal with them. So listen, you can keep
I moved on too, but it's like, all right, like the anniversary is coming up June 30th, and I started putting up little clips and stuff from it, and I see that it's like they following everything I do, but again, they don't add me to it. I was gonna be petty and take out their name and stuff, but I say, you know what? In actuality, this is part of my history. I did work with them. We did, bring something that was great to SOBs, and so I'm not gonna block them out of my history. But at the same time, I'm not gonna just be quiet and let you like push me out the way like I was just an afterthought on something that I helped create, from the name to the concept to everything.
No,
and
absolutely.
The thing you brought is financial to it. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody could look at this concert and say, oh my God, who put this together? And here they bumping me out the way saying it was just us. And then somebody will bring them opportunities when in reality, I was the one that came up with everything. So now I lose out on my opportunity because you pushed me out the way. So
that happened with Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg took the idea from somebody else and wound up giving that guy 60 million. Hey, you can have Facebook. I'll take my 60 million. I don't need to be around.
Yeah, but he's making billions off of it though.
No. I know 60 million pales in comparison to 60 billion, but hey, listen, that's still a good amount of money. Is it 60 billion? Is it 1 billion? No, but he could live comfortably on
and
that.
Definitely, and if he's the mind behind that creation, he can go ahead and build something similar to that anyway.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's what I did, because when I created You Are Officially Booked, that's what I used to do at the end of the interviews. I said, well, I got to create something else because I'm moving on. So I did You Are Officially Done by Code 31. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
You gotta keep on moving, but it's just frustrating. It's just very frustrating, the things that you go through in this industry. So that's why I definitely interview you and ask you, but you answered my question. You said those people that did that to you, you got rid of them. So, but what if you can't get rid of them? Like they're in that same industry.
Yeah, unfortunately.
How do you handle that? Because you will eventually have to run into those people again.
Yes, I have run into a few of the people that have done me wrong and everything like that. And they don't say nothing to me. I don't say nothing to them. I act like they're not there. Okay. I don't have a sourpuss on my face. Okay. Like if you didn't know the situation, you wouldn't even know that, it got awkward one time because someone was like, oh, take a picture. And I just went, whoop, and I just kept going. I'm like, oh, hell no. I'm not taking a picture with this person.
Right.
I'm not co-signing that, And if someone had asked me, I'd be like, oh, one of the people.
Right. I've had that happen where people wanted to take, and I'm like, nah, I just don't want to take a picture with you. You know what I mean?
No, I'll tell straight up. I'm like, you see that person right there? I won't say their name. I'm like, usually it's a group picture, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. Usually not just me and that other person. You're like, well, one of those 4 people over there, I don't get along with. So I don't do fake. I'll tell the person, the photographer, in a heartbeat, like, I don't do fake. You know, I'm not taking a picture with that person. The person did me wrong. If it's someone that I just don't like, I'll take the picture because it's a group picture. But if it's somebody that actually did something to me personally, because there's a few people that I'm not crazy about, but I'll take the picture with them because they didn't do anything to me.
Right.
They might have done something to somebody else that I know and everything like that. But as long as they didn't rape the person, they didn't try to kill the person, and they didn't try to like harm one of them, you know, I'll be like looking at them like, well, you're not a nice person, but all right, I'll take the picture because the photographer don't need to know this behind the scenes.
Right.
You know?
Like I said, you deal with things professionally, but you know, it's just really frustrating to just, you know, that's why I keep on building. That's why I'm kind of moving towards doing like sports athletes now, and you know, stuff that I know that they will never be in those circles. I'm thinking out the box now. Like, let me move towards.
And God got something better for you. So those people that did you wrong, kill them with kindness.
Definitely.
You know? Don't even acknowledge them. You know, just act like you ain't got a care in the world. That's what I do. You know?
That's great.
I don't even look at them. I enjoy myself while they're there. You know, and I just don't keep my back to them because I don't trust people, so I don't want them to try to do some sucker shit to me.
Right.
You know? I just like say you and I are looking at each other, but I know like from my peripheral, I can see if they're coming towards me or whatever. Not that I'm expecting that, but you don't want to just, you know, because sometimes people like to stir the pot and be like, oh, that person's talking shit about you or whatever. And I'm not saying anything about them. I'm just be like, yeah, I see that asshole. You're an asshole. I'm not talking shit about you. I'm calling you what you are. You're a jerk. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sitting there being bitter about what you did to me, but I'm not going to acknowledge you like, oh, you're a good person when you're not. I'm not going to.
How do you handle like if they like you're trying to build? Okay, so I'm doing this interview with you, but if I had put it out there, oh, I'm interviewing Big Jeff or whoever, and they would reach out to the person that I'm trying to interview and sabotage me not doing that. So I just got to keep it on the low till it's over then, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
And that's sad.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about future people that I'm going to interview, but it's like I can't even put it out there.
Yeah, that sucks, you know?
Yeah.
But you have to look at it like, you know what? It's a learning experience and, you know, that God got something better for you. That's the way. Anytime a negative happens to me, I'm like, okay, I got to find out what the lesson is. Learn it and then just move forward and be like, you know what, God got something better, you know?
Okay. Well, this has been a great interview, Jeff. I thank you for being on Interviews on Demand, Zoom edition with Code 31. Before you go, I need you to say your name and say, it's Code 31.
Peace and blessings, y'all. This is Big Jeff. Great interview here with my friend Dawn. And guess what? It's Code 31.
Thank you so much, Jeff. And we are out of here. Hold on. I got to get the screenshot of our interview. You ready?
Sure.
Oh, shoot. Hold on. Hold on. Why this thing acting up? Hold on. Oh, that's why I'm hitting the wrong button. Duh. Hold on. Hold on, Jeff. All right, got it. All right, Jeff, thank you so much. And I'll be talking to you soon.
All right, you take care, Dawn. Thanks again.
All right. Bye.